I'm gonna read it straight through.
We're gonna go straight through.
The physical world walking past, so I gotta get off the way.
All right, this is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse 54.
Bring it out.
And after these, Adam also, whom thou have, and after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all, and the people also, whom thou hast chosen. All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes. As for the other people, which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle, and hast the likeness of an abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. And now, O Lord, behold, these heathen, which have ever been reputed as nothing, have become to be lords over us and to devour us.
So I want to agree with you because that makes sense, because if you go through history, if we came from Africa, we got all this fruit, the sun, we got all the means we need, and you come over here and try to take it or try to rob us for it,
Which they did.
capture us, that coexists. I agree with that.
Right. We all come from Adam, but the other nations, which are heathen nations, are seen as nothing. That's why they're
They came
heathen.
to steal and rob and kill.
But us acting like them and going off to their gods and their idols, that's what made us Gentiles well.
The book of Galatians chapter 4 verse 26.
Bring it out.
But Jerusalem, which is above, is free, which is the mother of us all.
Because that's where the Israelites come from.
Okay.
We come from Jerusalem, which would be on the eastern side of so-called Africa. But
They
it was
lied to me all this time
Yes.
and told me it was something else.
right.
When that's why we walking around lost like this. 'Cause
Right.
We
And
don't know.
we're not African American.
That's
Can
just
I
a
get
word.
Exodus
That's just a
11,
word.
7?
That's just a word. That's a word. That doesn't mean
But-
nothing to me. That's just a word.
The so-called African is not us.
That's just
We're
a word.
We're gonna bring that out of the Bible as well.
The book of Exodus chapter 11 and verse 7.
Bring it out.
But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue
They're not even supposed to talk bad about us.
against man or beast, that ye may know how that the Lord doth put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel.
Right. So how could you be African and American if the Lord put a difference between those two?
That's not possible.
Right. So we can't be African American. This is another way that you know that we are the Israelites.
To hide this valuable information right here.
That's what they did. We're literally reading out of the Apocrypha. The Apocrypha means hidden books. These are books that they took, hid, and took away from us. These people are now in our land. So in 1948, they took our land, but the Most High God said He's going to crack the sky first and come back and put us in our own land. How they do that? He didn't come back yet. And that brother was telling you that we already got the laws in our head and everything else. That's why we were like, okay, you can't listen to both.
Okay.
He was just talking, and we coming out of the Bible. We're not coming out of our own words.
Back it up.
Right. But he was just talking. That's why I asked him for scripture, and he wouldn't bring out scripture. And that's why he left. Because he couldn't bring it out.
The book of 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 11.
Bring it out.
If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of the Most High.
He should have been reading out of the Bible.
If any man minister, let him do it as the ability which the Most High giveth, that the Most High in all things may be glorified through Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, to whom be praise and dominion forever and ever. Amen.
That's right, because it don't matter what we say. It's not about us up here teaching. It's about us giving the glory to the Most High God. We're trying to get you to go back home.
I'm scared to read that Bible because I know these manipulating people.
There's
Good
nothing
stuff
wrong
in
with the
there.
Bible. What
I'm
they did
scared,
is they read the Bible to us the way they wanted to.
Okay.
They never changed the Bible itself. Because if they did, then you wouldn't have Job 30 and 30. You wouldn't have Jeremiah 14:2. You wouldn't have Revelations 1:14 in there. If they did, that lets you know that Israel's black. That we are black people.
That's not the same Bible they gave us.
That's the
With those
same
ships.
exact Bible that
With
your
those
grandma
ships.
probably
Was
had.
it a ship called Jesus for real or no?
In real life, they made a ship called
Okay,
Jesus.
so is that the same Bible they gave us when they put us on the ship called Jesus? That's not the same Bible, is
They
it?
put us on a ship and brought us over here. I don't know what the name of it was, but you're right. They took
They
stuff
told
out
me
of
it was
it.
Jesus. I've been studying for a while. They've been saying it's been Jesus. And I heard that's the Bible they gave us when they took us on these ships.
Right.
It's called Jesus.
Right, and that's why the Catholics
scared
have the
to read that.
1611.
Thoroughly.
That's why the Catholics have it. But if you read it thoroughly, then you'll have understanding of abundance. But you have to go precept upon precept. You can't go from the beginning in Genesis and read all the way
Because I
through
get
to
confused.
Revelation.
Exactly. That's
Right.
what he just told me. He just told me the same exact
Right.
thing.
Go ahead, sister.
Whatever. Why are they sweeping up Cain and Abel under the rug?
Who?
You know,
So-called white.
Yeah, to
The
try
evil brother? Is
to
that the evil brother?
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
Why
Well,
is they
well,
doing
Cain came back on the earth as Esau. He was the original Esau before he came out red in Genesis 25. He was Cain first, and he had color, and then he was marked and went off into Ham, which is so-called Africa today. But they don't want you to know the correlation of that, because then you can figure out who you are.
And
And
I
if you
ain't the
figure out
devil.
who you are and you start keeping the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments, you can go back to the Most High and you can take over, and this world will be destroyed faster than they think.
Right.
That's why.
And that's what hurricanes and tornadoes, because they can't stop that.
Right, and that's
a
what we
higher
was bringing out
entity.
earlier, that tornadoes and stuff don't go into the hood. Where's it go?
That's a higher entity to show these people we know what you're doing. Sooner or later,
It's about to
you're
come
not
out.
gonna be able to withstand this type of
Right.
energy.
The Most High said he coming back like a whirlwind.
Well, the book of Sirach, chapter 36,
Rob?
Ecclesiastes.
Oh, okay.
Ecclesiasticus. The book of Sirach, chapter 36, and verse 5.
Bring it up.
And let them know thee, as we have known thee, that there is no God, but only thou, O God. Show new signs, and make other strange wonders. Glorify thy hand and thy right arm, that they may set forth thy wondrous works.
Right.
You said right arm?
Yes. Meaning strength.
Okay.
Okay, that there's only one God. This is what he's telling you. And that he likes for you to know that he exists. This is exactly why he did in Egypt to Pharaoh what he did. And he put all the curses and everything on Pharaoh, and then still hardened his heart, so he could put more curses on Pharaoh, and then harden his heart again.
Hold on. What is the curse?
He had flies. He had a curse is a bad thing. Right now we're under curses.
Okay.
You know, we went to slavery. We got beat, killed. We're still cursed right now under the white man. We're being killed, shot down in the street. We're brought to nothing. We're the highest people to God, but the lowest people on the earth physically.
Physically.
Right. They see us as nothing. They laugh at us. They mock us. They have bywords and by names for us. Right?
Right.
They call us niggas. They call us black, colored, Afro-American. That's a hairstyle. African-American, we just read out of there that we're separate. Right. That's a curse. For me and you not to like each other when we're walking down the street, looking at each
That's a
other.
curse.
That's a curse.
That is a curse.
Right,
That's not
because
right.
we used to have brotherly love with one another. We used to care for each other. If you needed something, I would come give it to you. Now, if you need something, I'm trying to take what you don't even have. That's a curse. Me looking at you like, "Psh, you ain't nothing," but then me looking at them like, "Hey, great, yo."
Once again, it goes back to what he just said. It goes back to when we was in Africa, we had everything we wanted.
When we was at home, when we was in
Everything. We had
Jerusalem,
everything
the
we
mother
wanted.
of us all above in Jerusalem, right?
Food, water.
When we was
sun.
in Israel,
Now I want to take from him, he want to take from him.
right?
That's not making sense.
And
to me, man.
where we learn that from? The heathens.
They put this
We learned that from
plan in
these
place.
Gentiles, and then we start acting like the Gentiles, which made us become the Gentiles.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that.
The book of Judges, chapter 7, and verse 2.
Bring it out.
And the Lord said unto Gideon, the people that are with thee are too many for me to give the Midianites into their hands, lest Israel vaunt themselves against me, saying, mine own hand has saved me.
Right. You see how Israel has to go with the Most High God?
They have to.
We have to, otherwise we
Have
don't
to.
die.
Right.
We're never going to be saved if we don't go to the Most High God.
But
That's
does
our
that mean
arm.
they're perfect or what? I'm getting
Say that
confused
again?
about that. Does that mean to be perfect? I mean, like,
The Most High God said, be
I still
perfect.
drink,
Well,
I still-
Christ said, be perfect as my Father in heaven is perfect.
that's right.
Okay? Meaning, go back to your law, statutes, and commandments and keep them to the best of your ability. And God said that he will wipe out your sins, seeing you as perfect.
Right.
If you're keeping his commandments. But if you out here trying to keep this gay pride parade, you out here trying to keep Easter,
That's weird shit.
right, that's against
Pagan holidays. I'm not
that's
into
against
that.
him.
I'm not into pagan
This
holidays.
is the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 48.
Bring it out.
Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect.
No man can be perfect.
Be ye therefore perfect, even as your Father in heaven is perfect.
So if you couldn't do it, why would it be in the Bible when God tell you to do it if you can't do it?
Wow.
If you cannot do it, why would it be in there?
Written in red.
Right.
The book of Sirach, chapter 34 and verse 8.
Bring it out.
The law shall be found perfect.
The what?
The law shall be found perfect
Oh, it's okay.
The law,
without
statutes, and commandments.
lies. And wisdom is perfection to a faithful mouth.
That's right.
So they words that they make is deceiving.
Right.
We thinking perfect. Oh, I gotta walk in a straight
Right.
line.
That's because
the words they
we
made.
following Gentiles.
That's the
We
words
following
they
heathen
made.
then. Right. We ain't following
That's
after the
why I'm
Most High God.
confused. They confuse me.
On purpose.
Exactly.
It's the book of
Strategically.
Psalms, chapter 19, verse 7.
Bring it out.
The law of the Lord is perfect.
The what?
The law of the Lord is perfect.
Commandments.
The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul.
Changing you.
Thy testimonies of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple.
So if you don't know, you're simple, right?
Yeah.
But then it makes you wise knowing the commandments because they are perfect, which makes you perfect. Therefore, you'll no longer be a Gentile. You won't be a heathen. You'll be seen as a mighty Israelite like you're supposed to.
That's right.
Then you can go and get the kingdom. And then you see all these people that were ever refuted as spittle, as nothing, like a drop came out of a vessel. You will then rule over them the same way that we read that they rule over us.
That's right.
We will take the kingdom. And that's what we're trying to do. That's why we're out here. They call us a hate group. But
Who?
everybody, look at all these so-called gays out here. They hate
The
us.
media is-
But they
media
hate
is
God. They
their
hate
tool.
God, not us.
That's their tool. That media. That's their tool. They've been doing that for years.
The book
Decades.
of Revelation, chapter 2 and verse 25.
Bring it out.
But that which ye have already hold fast till I come. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works until the end, to him will I give power over the nations.
The works are the commandments.
And he shall rule them with a rod of iron. As the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers.
We'll be able to destroy them.
Even as I received of my Father, and I will give him the morning star. He that hath an ear, let him hear
Listen.
what the Spirit saith unto the churches.
Right. The Most High said he gonna come back and he gonna have us rule with a rod of iron. But it's not for us to take it into our hands to go ahead and destroy without him ordaining it first.
Right.
He has to crack that sky. He's gonna take up his loyal, the ones that are keeping the commandments, and he's gonna bring us back and we're gonna destroy this place.
How do y'all feel about Martin Luther King?
Martin Luther King was off in the beginning, but at the end, he went to Israel, learned about it, and then ended up coming back and preaching it, and then that's why they killed him.
They took him out of here.
Right, because he knew
the
who
physical
Israel
being.
was at the
For the
end.
physical being.
Right, he knew who Israel was at the end, Martin Luther King. I used to think it was Martin Luther King until I actually had to find out that he knew who we were at the end.
At the end.
Yeah, he knew exactly who we were.
And Malcolm X.
I don't know. No, Malcolm X did the exact opposite. He did the opposite of what Martin Luther King did.
Oh, he wanted to force.
He wanted to go.
Force.
He wanted to go with the white man at the end.
Okay.
Right. Malcolm was like, no, we got to go away from them. That's our enemy. Because he started to find out the same way we find out, and now they want us dead.
They wanted to silence y'all,
That's right.
right?
Because pretty soon that's what it's gonna be. We gonna be
They're standing-
silenced.
Man, he been over there standing, watching over here. I'm saying, is he watching me because I'm drinking? But I'm doing something on a smaller scale. This is a bigger scale.
Christ Drake.
This is a bigger scale right here.
Christ Drake. That's why they said his eyes were of flame.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 28 and verse 8.
Bring it out.
The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. The prophet which prophesieth of peace. When the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that the Lord hath truly sent him.
Right. You see that they used to prophesy the same way we are right now, back in old. Our forefathers did the same
On the
thing.
streets and just out of anywhere.
The highways and the hedges. The Most High said that he don't dwell in the temple, because you're the temple. He dwells in you. You have to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments, though. Otherwise, you see the sinner and he doesn't deal with sin.
This is the book of Ecclesiasticus chapter 25, verse 7. There be 9 things which I have judged in my heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that have joy of his children, and he that live to see the fall of his enemies.
We're going to live to see the fall of the enemies as long as we keep the commandments of the Most High God. That's why we wear these fringes.
Right.
The Most High said, take this shirt, put fringes on it, get a border of blue around it. This way we can remember our commandments, because there isn't 10.
Unbelievable. Wow.
There is 613 commandments that we know of.
Right.
Unbelievable.
And they're all throughout the entire book
This
of
is
the
the
Bible.
first time I heard this today.
God, exactly. That's what we were trying to get through to the brother that was here earlier.
The book of Psalms, chapter 37 and verse 34.
Bring it out.
Wait on the Lord.
Do what?
Wait on the Lord.
Do what?
Wait on the Lord, and keep his way, and he shall exalt thee to inherit the land. When the wicked are cut off, thou shalt see it.
That's right. He said, wait on the Lord and exalt, and he's going to exalt you, meaning he's going to lift you up high. Right now, we're on a low stage. We're on a low stage, but that's because we went away from his law, statutes, and commandments in the beginning.
We've been manipulated.
From the beginning.
Right?
Right. We just started listening to other nations. We were put in slavery. Then we started listening to other nations again, put in slavery again. We had 7 different captivities. This is our last one. 7 being completion.
Thank y'all.
This is our last one.
Thank y'all.
All praises to the Most
Physically, you mean
High.
it, or
God. This is the last one. This is it, brother. America's about to be destroyed. And World War III is prophesied in the Bible. It's about to be destroyed by nuclear missiles. The first wars...
they got this technology that they weren't supposed to have.
Right, well, no, the first wars, God gave them this technology. The first wars were all guns and swords and ting, cling, cling.
Okay,
but
yeah.
this time it's going to be by fire.
Right.
Okay, the Most High destroyed us with water, and the rainbow that they walking around with is a covenant showing that He'll never destroy us by water again.
Oh, that's what that means?
That's what the rainbow is.
Yeah,
But then they
tell us
took
that.
it and made it a gay pride thing.
Right.
Right, because they're abominable. Because they're heathens. This is why they have to be taken out.
Right.
This is why they have to be destroyed.
This is the book of Baruch, chapter 4, verse 1.
Bring it out.
This is the book of the commandments.
This is the what?
This is the book of the commandments of God, and the law that endure forever.
This is
Keyword
forever.
book.
Right, the book
It's not no
of the
10
commandments. Right,
He said a book.
of the
So that means
commandments.
the whole...
The entire thing. That's
all
why
the information.
when people are like, oh, Old Testament or is that New Testament, it doesn't matter. It's the entire book. It's the law. It's the commandments. This is what we follow. This is what we're supposed to follow. Otherwise,
right.
we're going to be dead. Right with everybody else that's abominable. And we're not trying to do this thing. We've already walked that simple walk. But the Most High said you keep these commandments and it'll make wise the simple. So we won't be simple anymore. We will be wise. And we will be able to rise. And then we'll be able to rule under the Lord, Yahushua. Not Jesus. His name is Yahushua.
Right.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 30 and verse 5.
Bring it out.
Every word of the Most High is pure.
Every what?
Every word of the Most High is pure. He is a shield unto them that put their trust in him.
That's right.
Add thou not unto his words, lest he reprove thee, and thou be found a liar.
Right. That's what these fake pastors do. They add unto his words. They take away from his words. So what do they found? A liar. It
They're
just
Gentiles.
they're found a liar. They're hypocrites. They go off into false idols. You know what color Christ was?
Gold. I mean, the brown...
He was a so-called black man.
Yeah.
He would be an African American if he was here today. He is a so-called black man. Like you, like me, like all of these brothers and sisters right here.
That's right.
Right? We the children of Israel. Right.
That's right.
We are the children of Israel.
right.
Right. You know how many people in the Bible
Not them.
were so-called blacks?
Not them.
So you know that the Hispanics are also us?
Yeah.
The Native and Seminole Indians are also us?
Yeah, they
Not
belong
them
with us.
Eastern Indian dudes. Not them. Not them. No. But
I didn't mean
everybody
to
that you
laugh,
see, now you allowed to laugh at them. They're an abomination. Everybody you see on this side, these are the children that the Most High God's coming back for. This is why Christ came.
No Arabs or Chaldeans are in that
No.
category?
No.
Okay. They used
That's
to
your
enslave
enemy.
us. They
You
used to
know that
enslave us.
they put you in slavery too.
I know. That's why I'm trying to ask questions to
Right.
make sure.
Right. The
I heard about
Persians.
that.
That was Persian to me.
They put us in slaves.
Put you in slavery.
That's why
man.
they sell us liquor on every corner
That's-
in a different type of way.
and
Oh,
they
we slavery
always
in a
in
different
your
type
hood.
of way. Oh,
Right.
that's why where I'm from.
Exactly.
There's liquor stores on every single corner.
There you go. There you go.
The book of Galatians, chapter 4, and verse 28.
Bring it out.
Now we, brethren, as Isaac was, are the children of promise.
That's right. We're the children of the promise.
But as then he that was born after the flesh persecuted him,
Right.
that was born after the spirit, even so it is now.
Right. Because we don't fight against people in flesh. We don't fight against flesh and blood. We over here fighting against the spirit because there's a spiritual war going on the same way that there's a physical war going on. Right? You know, there's about to be war against nations, like physically.
COVID-19 is a spiritual war. If
COVID-19
anybody
was,
disagree with me, let me know.
COVID-19 was put out amongst the heathen. That's why we ain't worried about it.
Right.
Because we keep the commandments of the Most High God.
Right.
So he keeps us covered, like he said, he's our shield. Right?
Right.
And we are the children of Israel trying to keep his commandments to our best of our ability so we don't have to worry about them things. That's a pestilence for the heathen nations, for the Gentiles, which we used to be.
The book of Galatians chapter 4 and verse 30.
Bring it out.
Nevertheless, what saith the scripture? Cast out the bondwoman and her son, for the son of the bondwoman shall not be heir with the son of the free woman.
They talking about Ishmael.
Okay.
So then, brethren, we are not of, for then, brethren, we are not children of the bondwoman,
We're not children of the bondwoman.
but of the free.
So that's why we are free. We aren't children of the bondwoman. We don't come from Ishmael. We come from Isaac, which is from the loins of God's chosen people. We don't come from Ishmael. Even in their Quran, they tell you in the Quran that we are the chosen people, the Israelites.
Islam.
The Islam are not the chosen people. That's Ishmael. Who
Okay.
that's from the bondwoman. We come from the free woman. We come from Sarah.
So I got a question, real
ahead.
quick. So I'm going off the physical world too, so you got to help me out a little bit. So we was enslaved, right?
Right.
So we had some whites that actually was fighting on our side to get us unenslaved.
That's why we don't go by color. It's by
Okay.
bloodline.
Okay, it's not color.
Right. Because Ephraim, they intermix so much that they're like a cake unturned. They intermix so much that they go through different shades of color. Because they're the first ones that go off into Gentiles, off
Right.
into idols. So they made us Gentile.
It's the book of Hosea, chapter 7, verse 8.
Bring it out.
Ephraim, he have mixed himself among the people,
He mixes itself.
and is like a cake not turned.
Right. So if you take a pancake,
Puerto Ricans.
right? If you take a pancake, right,
Bring it out.
and you put it in the pan, right,
Right.
and you just let it cook,
Right.
but you don't flip it,
Right.
then you take it out.
One
One
side
side
of the
is right. That's why we ask you who's your father, because it's by the seed of your father. It's, America lies to you. Everything here is contrary to the Most High God. They lie to you and tell you, hey, it's the seed of your mother, when it's not. Because you know, in order for you to grow something, you have to have the seed, correct?
Right.
The seed comes from a man, right?
Right.
Okay, so if I take the seed and I plant it in China, right?
Right.
Is it going to be a Chinese tree?
No, it just came from that seed.
It came from whatever that seed was that planted it there.
Yeah.
So if me and my wife went to China and had a baby, is that baby Chinese?
No.
No. Them people ain't going to see us as Chinese.
Right.
So how are you American? You're not. You're Israel.
That's right.
You're the chosen people of God.
Right.
This is what we waking you up to. We let you know that you are one of the greatest people on the face of the planet, brother. And if you come back to these laws, statutes, and commandments, and you keep them diligently, you can get the kingdom.
That's right. Like that.
The book of Jeremiah chapter 12 and verse 9.
Bring it out.
Mine heritage is unto me like a speckled bird.
Right.
The birds round about are against her. Come ye, assemble all the beasts of the field, come to devour.
That's right. It's like a speckled bird, man. Meaning that we are all shades Israel's all different shapes, all different colors, and we've been scattered across the four corners of the earth, meaning we're everywhere on this earth because we got put into slavery 7 different times, so we got taken everywhere. Right? Like Master Johnson would take our children over here to a plantation so far away we never see our children again. We don't even know who we are.
So our DNA is mixed with half the world, which is Gentiles. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
We're intermixed.
Does that make sense to say that?
We're intermixed. We are intermixed people. But if you know the seed of your father, it's easier to find out if you're Israelite.
The book of Hosea, chapter 1 and verse 10.
Bring it out.
Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea.
Can you number the sand of the sea?
Of course not.
Of course not. So that means we're everywhere. There's so many of us.
Which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it is said unto them, ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living God.
That's right. Right. Exactly. Those people that are like, oh no, you ain't my people. You are my people. But you have to keep those laws, statutes, and commandments in order to be my people. Otherwise, you're a heathen nation, which means that you are the Gentiles, which means that you're going to be put to death. And that's not what we want. We're already doing that physically. We ain't trying to get that spiritually as well. We don't want that, brother. We want to be what? Part of the kingdom, right? You want to go with the Most High God, right? And rule over these heathen that have been destroying us forever and ever and ever. We want to rule over them with a rod of iron, right? Keep the commandments.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 119, verse 111.
Bring it out.
Thy testimonies have I taken as an heritage.
That's right, it's a heritage.
Forever.
Heritage.
For they are the rejoicing of my heart.
Forever. These are a testimony of a heritage forever. And it makes my heart rejoice. It makes me happy to know that
Forever.
forever and ever
So I think
and ever ever means that it's not going to be like here. You know how we die off here.
yeah, physical world.
Not when we keep the commandments of the Most High cracks that sky, comes and He sends His Son back, and we have the laws embedded in our heads. We rule forever and ever and ever. It doesn't end, like the sand of the sea.
All this correlates to the physical world. Why would you be so mad at this one people? Why would you be so mad at it? It's a reason why.
They that bad
It's
because
a reason why.
because
This
they
is
don't
why.
want us to have it.
This is why.
They don't want us to have it. Exactly.
The book of Mark, chapter 13 and verse 26.
Bring it out.
And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in the clouds with great power and glory. And then shall He send His angels and shall gather together His elect from the four winds, and from the uttermost part of the earth to the uttermost part of heaven.
He's going to come from north, south, east, and west on a cloud. Cloud meaning UFO. You know how they call them UFOs?
Yeah,
We know